What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another banger. So in today's video, we will be ranking every player on the Minnesota Timberwolves 2022-2023 roster. Now, if you haven't watched my previous videos, I did one on the Lakers, I did one on the Dallas Mavericks and other teams. Go check those videos out, but without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so we have switched over, and as you guys can see, my tier list has 5 different sections. It has stars of the team, very good player, deserves big minutes, decent rotational player, gives you solid minutes, fine for garbage time / development, and get them off the motherfucking team. Now, before I even get started, I do want to let you guys know this, that all of these players, they will be ranked in order from best to worst. So the person I put in that top category as the first player, that's the very best player on this team. The person who's on that get them off the team category and they're the final player that I place, that means that they're the worst player on the team. Hey, and before we even do get started, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, and let's get it. Alright, so to start off as the best player on the team, I have Karl Anthony Towns. Now, a lot of people love to cope and try to make it seem like Anthony Edwards is the best player on the team, but let's just be real. He is not. He is not. As of right now, Anthony Edwards, he does have a couple of flaws in his game, so yeah, he can't be the best player. And then, let's keep it real. For the most part, throughout Cat's career, he has been very efficient. The only thing that's holding him back as of right now is that he has been injured. So, that's what's holding Cat back right now. But he is still the best player on this team. Right behind him, as the second best player of the team and in the stars of the team category, I have Anthony Edwards. Now, Anthony Edwards, he is part of the future of this team, but the thing that's really been holding him back this year is just turnovers. He has been very turnover prone with the ball this year, and that's something that's really holding him back. But other than that, he is still very good, still has a bright future, and I do consider him a star of the team. Right behind him, and very good player, I have D'Angelo Russell. Now, some people could cope and say D'Angelo Russell is a star of the team, but me personally, I feel like he's just a very good player. And ironically, in my opinion, I feel like D'Angelo Russell, he gets a lot of hate. And half of it is warranted, but half of it isn't warranted. A lot of people like to say, oh, he's not a good defender, but he has been better defensively. Let's keep it real. A lot of people say he's a ball hogging. Yes, that is a valid point, but he is the best passer on this team, ironically as well. So we do want to note that. And let's keep it real. At the start of the season, he did struggle, but he has picked it up and he has been pretty solid lately. So I got him as the third best player on this team, and let's keep it moving. As the fourth best player on this team, I have him a very good player, deserves big minutes, is Jaden McDaniels. Now, I could argue that he is above D'Angelo Russell, but I'm going to put him right here for now. He is a young player, great when it comes to his defense, has been shooting around league average from 3, and has been pretty efficient all around, man. He's one of the biggest bright spots on this Timberwolves team, let's just be honest. And he definitely is already a good 3-and-D player, so I got him right there. And like I said, you can argue that he has been better than D'Angelo Russell this year, but I will put Jaden McDaniels right here just because we know how essential D'Angelo Russell is to this team. Right behind him, I have Rudy Gobert. Now, a lot of people, y'all not gonna like this position for Rudy Gobert, but let's keep it real, man. Rudy Gobert, he just hasn't been that great this year. He has been, I think, at a league low when it comes to blocks well, not league low, but for his standards, he has been low when it comes to blocks. I think he's averaging around 1 block or less, which is crazy for a player of his status, being a former defensive player of the year and things of that nature. And then let's keep it real. On offense, he doesn't roll to the rim that well, even though he is a pretty big player. And it's just tough, man. And it's not fully to blame on him. I feel like it has a little bit to do with the coaching and just the amount of injuries they have had as well. But yeah, he just hasn't been as great as he usually is defensively, and also hasn't been all that great offensively and things of that nature. So I got him as the 5th best player on this team, and let's keep it moving. As the 6th best player on this team, I have Cal Anderson. Now, I got him at decent rotational player, give you solid minutes. No, to me, I feel like he's a great all-arounder. He can pass pretty well. He's been shooting decently, and he can somewhat do it all. The only thing you can't really knock to him is that when it comes to his lateral speed and things of that nature, he's kind of slow, but ironically, he's still a solid defender, which is crazy. But other than that, we all know what slow-mo provides, and he's pretty much a decent all-arounder, can do everything. As the 7th best player on this team, I have Taurean Prince. No, I got him at 7th because I like what he really provides. He can shoot the ball pretty well. I think he's pretty tall. I think around like 6'8", so he does provide solid defense as well. And he's just a typical 3-and-D player. Now, I wouldn't say he's one of the top 3-and-D players, but other than that, he's definitely a decent role player and provides solid minutes when he does come off the bench. All right behind him, I have Naz Reid. No, I got Naz Reid right here because he is a very underrated player, to be honest. He's a center who can shoot the ball pretty well. He's shooting pretty good from 3. And he also provides some toughness. I definitely feel like he's a good role player to have on your team. And yeah, I don't feel like we really need to speak too much about him. He's a solid center who can shoot the ball and provides some toughness. Next up behind him, I have Austin Rivers. No, Austin Rivers, it's tough where to put him. He hasn't been that good this year. I'm going to keep it a band. He really hasn't. I think he's starting to catch a little fire the last three games, but other than that, he hasn't been that great. Should I put him in fine for garbage time / development or a decent rotational player? Like, when it comes to Austin Rivers, his offense hasn't been all that great, but he does provide decent defense. So I do want to note that. But other than that, it's like he just hasn't been all that great. I'm going to give him the benefit of doubt and put him at decent rotational player, gives you solid minutes, but hey, he could easily go and fine for garbage time and development. It's y'all choice. Y'all tell me in the comments down below, where would y'all put him? Would y'all put him in fine for garbage time / development, or would y'all put him at decent rotational player, gives you solid minutes? Y'all tell me. All right behind him, I have Jordan McLaughlin. No, I got him at fine for garbage time / development. I know a lot of Timberwolves fans might be mad at me for putting him in this place, but I do feel like people tend to overrate him a little bit. But regardless of that, he does have a little potential. He plays pretty tough out there, and yeah, we seen a little of his potential a year ago and the year before that, but sadly, his stats and his percentages and things of that nature have been going down and down every year. Now, we could attribute that to minutes because, to be honest, the next couple of players on this list, they haven't really been getting that many minutes. So I'm going to give him the benefit of doubt and just have him at fine for garbage time and development, but his stats and things of that nature, they are just not looking as good as they were years before, but he still does have potential. All right behind Jordan McLaughlin, I have Wendell Moore Jr. No, I got him at fine for garbage time / development as well, And what we got to understand about him is that he is a rookie. He's only 21 years old, so he hasn't really been getting that many minutes. But I feel like there is a lot of potential with him, especially for the Timberwolves. Let's keep it real. The guards, they haven't been that great this year for the Timberwolves, the backup guards to be specific. And those backup guards consist of Austin Rivers and Jordan McLaughlin. So I definitely feel like he has potential to actually break into the roster and actually get some playing time. He is 6'5", so he has decent size on him as well. And he plays pretty good defense as well. So I got Wendell Moore Jr. in this placement. Right behind Wendell Moore Jr., I have Josh Minott. Now, he's another rookie as well, and I feel like he also has potential. He is 6'8", so he does have some decent size. And with that size, I do feel like he can play some decent defense as well. He hasn't really been getting that many minutes, so there's still not enough to really show based on his game and things of that nature. But for what I have seen out of him, definitely pretty athletic. Got some size, so he can keep building defensively. And as of right now, he might not make the rotation due to them having, pretty solid small forwards in Taurean Prince and Slow-Mo and players of that nature. So he probably won't make the rotation, but it's still a lot of potential when it comes to him as a player. So I definitely got him in that position. Right behind Josh Minott, I have Nathan Knight. Now, Nathan Knight, he is a power forward. He's around 6'10" at height, and he has potential. He does have potential. I like how he is actually shooting the ball, but the thing is, he is getting kind of up there in age. He is 25 years old, so he is starting to hit his prime. And when you have players that are starting to hit their prime, you want to see more out of them. So you want to see a little bit more out of him. I need to see a little bit more out of him to put him ahead of the young guns right here, especially since they are younger and they're both rookies. But I do feel like he still has potential to be a solid rim runner and a solid pick and roll player. And like I said, he isn't afraid to really shoot the ball, so he could possibly be a solid pick and pop player in the future. But he does need to keep developing. Keep developing, young man. Keep developing. Right behind Nathan Knight, I have Luka Garza. Now, I got him in fine for garbage time / development as well. I think he is around 24 or 25 years old, so he's really going to be fighting with minutes against Nathan Knight, to be honest. They both are big men. Luka Garza, he is 6'11", so he is an inch taller than Nathan Knight. And he isn't as athletic as Nathan Knight, but what he does provide is shooting. Back in his games with the Detroit Pistons, he did shoot around like 32%, and obviously that's below league average, but it does show that he could possibly improve on that. He has only been in the league for 1 or 2 years, so he hasn't had a lot of run. And like I said, these two players right here, they will be fighting for minutes. But me personally, I feel like Nathan Knight, he does have a little more potential just by him being a little more athletic. But other than that, Luka Garza, he is still a young player and he still has time to improve as well. Right behind Luka Garza, I have Matt Ryan. Now, Matt Ryan, I feel like he's pretty one-dimensional, and I do have him on get them off the motherfucking team. Now, let me scroll down so you guys can see this. But, yeah, I got him on get him off the team just because I feel like he doesn't really provide anything that any of the other players on his team lack, in a sense. He is around 6'5", so he is around average size, and he isn't that athletic. His three-point shooting hasn't been that good, and he is 25 years old, so it's not much upside for him, in my honest opinion. So I do have him on get him off the motherfucking team. Right behind him, I do have the worst player on the team, aka Brian Forbes. Now, I know a lot of y'all might be arguing, he's a good three-point shooter. He shot 41% last year. But this year, he has been horrible. I'm sorry to say. He has been horrible, man. I think he's shooting around 21% from three. And without him hitting threes, he doesn't really provide anything to the team. He's a bad defender. He doesn't really look for his shot in a sense, or try to get open in a sense. So that hurts him. Another knock to him is that, let's keep it real, most of the teams that he did play on, they had very well organized offenses, such as the San Antonio Spurs. With Minnesota, it's the complete opposite. So that hurts his game in a sense as well. There aren't many plays ran to, get him open, similar to how it was with the Spurs. So like I said, that hurt his game as well. So without him, shooting great, or at least shooting league average, it's like he's just not bringing anything to the team. So I got him as the worst player on the team, and I forgot to actually put one player. And let me put him. That player is Jalen Noel. No, I accidentally forgot to put him, but where would I put him? I would put him right here as decent rotational player, gives you solid minutes. At the end of last year, it looked like he was definitely going to be a player that could possibly get a payday in the future. But unfortunately, this year he hasn't really been getting as much run as he needs to actually show his skills, to be honest. He definitely has potential. He's somewhat of an all-arounder style of player, but like I said, because he hasn't really been getting minutes this year, he hasn't really been able to show all that potential that he showed last year, at the end of last year to be exact. So with that being said, y'all see the tier list, and let's switch over so I can recap it one more time for you guys. Alright, so to recap this tier list, as the number one best player on this team, I have Karl Anthony Towns. As the second best player, I have Anthony Edwards. As the third best player, I have D'Angelo Russell. As the fourth best player, I have Jaden McDaniels. As the fifth best player, I have Rudy Gobert. As the sixth best player, I have Kyle Anderson. As the seventh best player, I have Taurean Prince. As the eighth best player, I have Naz Reid. As the ninth best player, I have Austin Rivers. As the 10th best player, I have Jalen Noel. As the 11th best player, I have Jordan McLaughlin. As the 12th best player, I have Wendell Moore Jr. As the 13th best player, I have Josh Minott. As the 14th best player, I have Nathan Knight. As the 15th best player, I have Luka Garza. As the 16th best player, I have Matt Ryan. And as the 17th and worst player on the team, I have Brian Forbes. But if you enjoyed this video, like the freaking video, comment on the freaking video, subscribe to the freaking channel. Hey, if you want me to do your team, put that team in the comments down below. Hey, I'm out. Peace.